Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Electric Sheep. Let's, oh, yeah, let's get things going with Sacred Fields.
Sacred fields. Our people were starving. The fish had fled the streams, the deer no longer stirred in the forest, and the sacred hunting grounds, those rolling meadows beyond the Ridge of Spirits, had turned eerily silent. Once they teemed with life. Now, even the crows had vanished. When the outsiders came, we were desperate. They arrived in shimmering vessels that whispered like wind through grass, their voices hollow behind shining masks. They offered food, clean and sealed in strange containers, tastier than anything we had known. They gave us metal shelters that bent not to storm or flame. Their tools carved through stone like butter and danced with unseen energy. But the greatest change was not in our homes or bellies. It was in the sacred fields. We watched as their machines rained fire from the sky. Great pillars of light fell like divine spears, followed by thunder that shook the bones of the earth. The hunting grounds bloomed with mushroom clouds, and the sun hid behind an angry veil. The elders wept, not for the animals, those were long gone, but for the land. The spirits of the hunt, once honored with careful tread and quiet arrow, had been silenced by a fury no spear could match. And yet something new was born in the silence. The outsiders returned, their suits heavier now, their tools more precise. They wandered the fields, poking long rods into the soil, capturing wind in small jars, and marking glowing rocks with symbols only they understood. They called it science, and they treated the land with a reverence that mirrored our ancient rites. They saw us watching, and perhaps they saw the hunger in our eyes, not for food, but for meaning. So they taught us. First the brave, then the curious, then all of us. Now, when our children come of age, they walk into the sacred fields, not to hunt beast or bird, but to hunt radiation and memory. Clad in leaded robes and blessed with Geiger counters, they walk where fire once fell. They collect samples, measure the pulse of the poisoned earth, and write their findings in tomes of carbon paper and digital tablets. It is our ritual now. Where once we danced around the fire before the hunt, now we sterilize gloves and chant the readings of isotopes. The prayer has changed, but the reverence has not. We do not fear the contamination. It is our sacred trial. The land remembers the fire, and through it, so do we. We record every scorched stone and every twisted tree. We map the invisible ghosts that float through air and water. We pass down knowledge like we once passed down hunting songs, word for word, breath for breath. And when outsiders return, and they do, now and then, they marvel at our rights. They ask us why we still go to the fields. We tell them because the land is not dead. It is sacred. It bore the fire and survived. And so shall we. Our people would come to know science in all its disciplines, and we would become a rich people, hired by outsiders for generations to come to explain science and to do scientific labor, for no other people had combined sacred ritual with scientific rigor.
Alrighty. Well, I really like that story. I may come back to the idea of religions after atomic weapons and things like that, because that's always a fun topic. But I thought that turned out really good, and it was just more about the idea that you have to adapt and kind of roll with the punches, and you can make something of yourself. Um, and maybe it's kind of an interesting story. I think it was interesting. I didn't really have any named characters in there or anything, but I like the progression. But as always, I want to thank you for watching. And this has been Joseph Arthur Roszell wishing you all the luck in the world. And I want you to remember that I love you. Alrighty, talk to you later.